Do I have any tips to convert Necron Warriors into Flayed Ones? I answer this and more in this month's Q&A. Nick speaking, and welcome to this video. Right, in this Q&A series I answer your questions from the previous video, and I've got some great questions to answer in this episode. Before that though, if you would like to keep up to date with the wonders of Warhammer 40k, then please give me a sub and hit the bell button so you don't miss an upload. Okay, so I'm really looking forward to answering your questions, but before I do, I have a question for you. So if you'd like to answer this in the comments box below, or if you do your own Q&A videos, then why not answer it in that? Okay, so my question is, what is your most favourite sized paintbrush to use? Now personally, I like to use a 0. Of course I can't paint everything with a size 0, but that's the most favourite paintbrush size that I like to work with when I get into the position to work with that particular size. So I'd love to know what size of paintbrush you prefer to paint with. Right, now on to the questions that I've got from you. Now the first one is from Kuya, I think that's how you pronounce it. He's got two questions for me. His first question is, what inspired me to start YouTube? Well, I was inspired to do YouTube by Fritz40k, or Wargamer Fritz, which is his last channel name that he had. Now sadly, his channel has been closed by YouTube, which I'm not going to go into in here. I have made a video on it in the past. I'll put a link to that in the description below for you to go and check out if you're interested. But yeah, Wargamer Fritz, massive inspiration for me starting not only the YouTube channel but also my blog as well. Now your second question is, if you could become any Games Workshop model, what would it be? That's an interesting question. If I could become any model, I think I would be how I foresee myself almost like in life. I'd be a Necron Lord. So I'm a bit of a leader, I think, so I would sort of imagine myself leading warriors, but I'm not sort of a top-end managing director type of person. So I wouldn't be an overlord or like imitate the Stormlord or anything. I think I'd be a lord. I think that's what I would go for, a Necron Lord. Okay, thanks for your questions. Right, next questions are from cruorangelussilicis. I'm doing this on my computer rather than printing out paper, trying it out for the first time, see how it goes. And he says, do you or have you ever been to a Star Trek convention, and have you ever seen anyone from the Star Trek universe in real life? Well, no is actually the answer to that. I've never been to a convention, and I've never seen anyone from Star Trek in real life. So maybe one day in the future. But no, Mike, I've not done any of those. Okay, so the next question is from Amia4, I think it's pronounced. And the question is, Nick, I am a huge Tyranids enthusiast, and I know that you are too fond of the space bugs. My questions for you is, if you were to create a new Tyranid Superheavy, next page, on one of the existing Tyranid Monsters, think Harridan as a big Harpy or Hive Crone, what would it be, what would it look like, and what would it do? Okay, my most favourite model ever, Tyranids and the whole 40k universe, is the Tyranid Morlock. I love that model, and I would love to have a massive, don't know how big, massive Tyranid Morlock type monster coming out of the ground. It would have rules like the 7th edition Morlock, not like the rules are now. It would be devastating when it comes down, doing lots and lots of mortal wounds as it crushes itself up out of the ground. Comes up out of the ground, doesn't deep strike, so it wouldn't really crush, but yeah, a massive Morlock. I'd love it. I think that'd be an awesome model. Okay, next question is from Braden Hickman, and he says, if they made another Start Collecting box set, who would they be and what would the box include? Well, I don't actually know which factions don't have a start collecting box set at the moment, but obviously it's going to be one of those factions, so yeah, don't really know who to say, because I don't know who doesn't have a box set, to be honest with you. I assume Sisters of Battle could probably have a nice start collecting box set with plastic miniatures. Sounds good to me, so that's going to be my answer. Okay, the next question. I'm just going to grab some coffee. Very unprofessional, I'm told, to have coffee in a video, but who cares? Okay, so the next question is from CJ Caramel, and he says, I think the box set that's mentioned is rumoured to be the Battle of Mars, consisting of Necrons and stupid AdMech. Haha. What's your thoughts? Okay, so yeah, we were talking about the potential of a Necron box set coming. Yesterday I put up a video about the new Space Marines Adventures box set, which I think is the rumoured box set for Necrons. I'm not 100% sure, maybe there is another Battle of Mars box set coming, but I don't think there is. I think that's the set. I think what I'm going to do is just direct you to that video, so check it out there if you want to find out more about my views on that box set. Yes. Okay, so next question is from, can never pronounce this, Peninsula Painting Projects, Andy. It's a mouthful, your name, Andy. Not your name, but your channel name. Okay, and he says, what type of TV series do you watch? Good question. I don't really watch TV, to be honest. I watch snooker when it's on the TV, and I'm a bit of a reality TV fan. I like X Factor, The Voice, Dancing on Ice, Strictly Dancing, not quite so much. I like the ice ones, I think they're more interesting. I don't watch that religiously, to be fair, but I do watch X Factor. I think it's probably my favourite, and The Voice. I like them. Britain's Got Talent, I always watch that. But TV series, not really, not on the TV anyway. I do have Netflix. I don't really at this moment in time watch any TV series. I have of course watched some which I'm waiting for the next ones to come out, so like Stranger Things, I've watched both seasons, Daredevil, Jesse Jones. But your question is what type? Science fiction, really, I suppose. I like science fiction. I like sort of time travel and special effects and good story. Yeah. Comedies is my least favourite. I'm not really into comedies. I don't mind a romantic comedy, but an all-out sort of slapstick comedy thing, that's not my bag. Slapstick comedy where they just take it too far, I don't enjoy that at all. It doesn't make me laugh at all. Yeah, that is my answer. Thanks for the question, Andy. Right, next is from Mythos from Frost and Fists. Actually, I just want to say to Mythos and to Freak, well done on the upturn of quality of your videos. You can really see the effort that you guys are putting in, not only with the content but also with obviously the editing, the sound effects and stuff that you're doing. So great job, well done. Right, his question is, good news, Necrons are totally getting the next versus box set, Necrons versus AdMech in the Battle of Mars. Obviously we talked about this already. My army versus your army. Yeah, because Mythos is now doing AdMech. He's abandoned his Space Wolves, sort of. But yeah, he's doing AdMech now, and of course I'm doing Necrons. This leads me to my question. What would you think about this? Is it a possibility that the Void Dragon worshipped by the Necrons could be the same dragon as the dragon on Mars? Well, it certainly could, Mythos, because obviously, you know, the Void Dragon is supposed to be on Mars, so why not? I mean, how cool would it be to have a box set come out with the Void Dragon model, a nice big, and this is what Necrons need. This is the love that we need. We need a big model, Void Dragon model, like Magnus type size, some good stats, in a brand new box set with updated warriors. I don't want updated warriors, but I know a lot of guys complain about the warriors. But just something fresh and new and a bit of Necron love. That's what we need. Necrons! Yes, I'm really intrigued by this idea, and it gives me some real excitement about the upcoming Battle of Mars. Yeah, I don't actually know it's going to happen, Mythos, unless there is another box set that I don't know about, but yeah, I don't think it's happening. But if it did, I suppose we could do swapsies. You can have my AdMech side and I can have your Necron side. Sounds good to me. I don't think I want to start another army, so I don't think I'd do AdMech. Okay, next question is from DMCD Raws, or DMC Draws, yeah. DMC Draws. And he says, do you have any tips or tutorials on converting Necron Warriors into Flayed Ones? The claws bits are especially challenging in my mind. Okay, so that is a good question. Now, whilst I don't have a video about converting warriors into Flayed Ones, I am going to direct you to a video by Super Wargamer, who's done exactly that, and he's done a fantastic job. He's also a massive Necron fan. His channel is basically based on Necrons. So check it out, Super Wargamer, that video there. He should be able to help you out easily. However, I have converted some Flayed Ones, because my Flayed Ones that I bought, and the metal ones, a lot of them didn't have the claws. Now what I did, I went to my Tyranid bits box and I found a load of little scything talons from the Hormagaunts, and I made those, reshaped them into the claws for the Flayed Ones, and then I glued them onto the wrist because I had no hand, so I glued them onto the wrist with some green stuff, and then I made some green stuff skin over the top of that join to hide the join. And it worked really well, so maybe that's another idea. But yeah, check out Super Wargamer's video. Right, the next question is from Peter Barrett, and he says, do you remember first edition Rogue Trader? If you do, what creatures, race or monster would you bring back to life for 8th edition? Peter, no, I don't remember it. I started halfway through 3rd edition, so I don't remember Rogue Trader at all. I know everyone keeps going on about squats, so maybe those, bring back those. Yeah. Okay, so the next question is from Jim White. I'm going to try and do this video with the least amount of editing if I can. So if you're saying something different, just I'm trying to make it a bit more chilled. But yeah. Okay, so Jim White, he says, how do you like your chicken prepared? I like my chicken cooked, preferably, but no, I like spicy chicken. I like the chicken breast more than the leg or wings or whatever. Chicken breast, breadcrumbed, spicy breadcrumbs. I like everything really. Chicken Kievs. I like the lot, but spicy chicken, my favourite. The spicier, the better. I do enjoy spicy food. I want a spicy meatball. Okay. Next question is from Perry Maru, and he says, what is your favourite Necron HQ? Not just the best one, but your overall favourite. That's a very good question. What is my favourite Necron HQ? I suppose I'm going to have to say the Necron Lord, just because I grew up on him as such. And I played that old Necron Codex for 10 years, where we only had a Destroyer Lord or a Lord. I do like the Destroyer Lord, but I think the Lord yeah, I've just played it so many times, that Lord. I'm going to say the Lord, and I'm hoping that in the new codex the Lord is going to be a bit more playable. I mean, as you know, I do play the Lord still in my list, even though obviously everyone else is playing Cryptics. But yeah, the Lord. I'm going to say the Lord. Okay, the next question is from... Ooh, scroll down too much. Right, the Miniature Paintbrush. Great channel. Definitely check it out if you haven't done so already. Yeah, there's his link. Go and check him out, please, because really good guy, and he's doing some great work on his channel, and you will definitely enjoy his channel. Anyway, he says, whatever happened to your Space Wolves army? Why did you stop playing them? Okay, so I still have the Space Wolves army. It's still being painted, although the majority of it is painted. But what happened to it is I just didn't really get the rules from 8th edition. So yeah, I didn't buy the Marine Index, and I don't even know, Space Wolf's got a codex now? I don't even know that. But yeah, I haven't bought the rules. I've been concentrating on Necrons, and the rules changes and chapter approved and just everything for 8th edition's really like slowed me down as such. So you probably know from a previous video that I'm now only going to concentrate on Necrons and Tyranids in my in 8th edition to start with. Once I get familiar with those a bit more, I'm basically on tender hooks, just waiting for that Necron Codex to come out. Once the Necron Codex comes out and I get familiar with that and I'm happy with that and I've got a few lists going, then I'll probably move on to the other armies. But sadly, Space Wolves are quite low down on my priorities of armies, because ultimately I enjoy Xenos armies more. And although I do like my Space Wolves, in terms of the play style, I definitely prefer Xenos armies, personally. You will, however, see the Space Wolves back on the channel. Definitely, I've got more models to paint. So yeah, keep an eye out for that at some point. Thank you very much for the question. Right, next question is from Game Master Hobby. So unprofessional, this video. Okay, he says, currently, which army has been the toughest to confront with your Necrons? And, cheating with the second question, no problem at all, as many questions as you like. Which one has been the easiest? Okay, so you haven't specifically said anything about 8th edition, so I'm assuming you're just talking about in general, over the years. So I'm going to take the question anyway. Probably best to take it that way, because in 8th edition I've only ever faced Space Marines, Blood Angels, Orcs, and Eldar, and that's it. So, but okay, over the years, I'm going to say Grey Knights. Grey Knights always caused me a problem because they seem to have the perfect tools. They were quick across the board, either with deep striking or teleporting or whatever. They were very good at shooting at the 24-inch range, better than most of my Necrons. And then in close combat, they were very good at close combat. Bearing in mind, obviously, Necrons used to be Initiative 4 back then. 4? I wish. Initiative 2 back then. So, striking last, easy, wipe me out with all those halberd things or whatever they have. So yeah, Grey Knights, they were tough to beat. And I know one way to beat Grey Knights, of course, is outmaneuver them. But generally with Necrons, you were not actually that fast of an army, so even that was difficult. So yeah, Grey Knights, the easiest army to play against. Easiest one. I think any Space Marines, really. Because the Gauge weapon, deal with all the vehicles, and then the number of shots generally would deal with like Marines. You know, they roll 1s and 2s. Anyone can roll 1s and 2s very easily. So I'm going to say just normal Space Marine, not Blood Angels, because Blood Angels I used to have problems with in the past. My buddy used to play the Death Company and Honour Guard and used to hide them behind vehicles as they moved across the board. And they were Initiative 5 on the charge, Furious Charge and everything. So yeah, I'm going to say the easiest army to beat would be normal Space Marines. Yes, down with the Space Marines! Okay, next question. Ah, wait there, have I just missed one? Let's have a quick look. No, right, okay, Mini Warzone. He says, you mentioned how you are looking forward to the new Necron Codex. So, what I want to know is, when you first open a new codex, what section do you flick through first? Or do you start from page 1 and read it through straight away? Very good question, Pete. Very good question. I usually flick through the pages very quickly, flick through the fluff, the pictures, most of the artwork I've seen, the new artwork I'm not a fan of, the new style, and then get to the rules, and then I just read the rules really. I usually read the special rules first and then go through certain units. I might look at, say, Wraiths first or Flayed Ones first, and then have a look at the points cost. So yeah, that's what I do really. I know some people sort of read, you know, end to end, but I don't do that because I'm not really that interested in the fluff, to be fair. Okay, thanks Pete for the question. Next question is from Akuru Adinicia. At least I think that's how it's pronounced. And he says, might be an old question, but which iteration of Necron lore do you prefer? Well, I prefer the original fluff. To be fair, I haven't read the new fluff for Necrons. My army is based on the old lore, and that's the one that I stick to. So I haven't even read the new fluff. I'm not into all the new dynasties and stuff. I just don't think it's necessary. I understand why they've done it, obviously trying to make the Necrons a bit more interesting, a bit more flavourable, but personally I don't need all that. I like the old style stuff, so yeah, that is my answer. Okay, so the next question is from Big Mech Dan Skull, and he says, it may be a difficult choice to pick one, but which is your favourite Star Trek race of all time, and why? You're right, Dan, that is a difficult question. I read this question previously and I had a good think about it, and I couldn't come up with an actual answer. I've got some favourites that I like, but not an actual single favourite race. So I like the Borg. Big fan of the Borg. When we first saw the Borg, that was pretty good. So I like the Borg. I like the Founders, like the Dominion, the Jem'Hadar. They're pretty cool. They were good. Species 8472, of course. Fantastic species. Great storyline. Yeah. Too many, actually. Too many, I think, to actually choose one. You're right. A very difficult choice. Thanks for the question, Dan. So next question is from Jeffrey Rogers, and he says, do you have a curio cabinet to display some of your favourite models, or are they all packed away? I think the new model might bring back the Scarab farm, being that he's riding one like a boss. Yeah, the new Necron model, the new Cryptic, he's obviously on that Scarab thing. Possibly. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what his special rules are. Scarab farm back could be quite cool. I've got 63 bases, 6 tomb spiders. I am ready to go. Let's do it. A display cabinet. I don't have one actually. I'm too scared to have one because I'll be worried about dust. Be paranoid about dust getting onto the models. So no, I don't have a display cabinet for my models. Maybe one day in the future, but it'll have to be like a vacuum sealed thing. I just wouldn't want dust on my models. So they're all kept in cases in various cupboards and under the bed and pretty much everywhere around the house. Yeah, thanks very much for the question. Okay, so the next question is... That's it. That is all the questions. So there you go, all done. Right, that is it for this episode. Remember, if you want another episode of me answering your questions, I will need your questions down in the comments box below. Please ask me some questions. Right, that's it from me. Beam me up.